am here to spread this message. I am here to help people wake up. I am here to help people understand the truth of who they are and the power they have within them to create the life they want to live. I am here to help people understand that they have the power to create.
You are listening to the Ultimate Biohack for Women, a movement of women who know what they want and go get it. You know the answers lie within. Reach in and grab hold. This is a movement of women who tune in and turn themselves on. Now you're biohacking the woman's way, integrating the art and science of hacking your biology like a woman. Tap your magic, conjure your yes, upgrade, elevate, maximize your potential. I'm Dr. Brandy Victory, and this is a movement that is sure to hack your soul.
Hello, beautiful souls. I wanted to show up for you today and spread a little love for you, maybe open your heart and lift your spirit just a bit. We are definitely in the midst of a crazy, crazy time of our life right now, right? And my heart goes out to those that are touched by COVID-19, and which that's everyone, you know. It's the sick, it's those in need, it's the people of China, of Korea, of Italy, the doctors, the nurses, all healthcare professionals for that matter, the families who have lost loved ones, the families who are learning to homeschool. Yeah, the families that are learning to be together again. It's a really interesting time. I'm noticing there's so many people living in fear. My heart goes out to you too. And those who don't know what to do with themselves as this whole country is shutting down. And, you know, there's such extremes happening. We hear so many things happening, right? We hear different things about this and that. And what we know is that we are in a pandemic. Like, this is serious business, right? And I'm not here to induce fear by any means. As a matter of fact, my goal is to soften it. And there are many people out there that don't believe I should be speaking these words to you right now. I've recently been slandered on social media. I've been asked to stop sharing my truth, sharing my work, that I'm not qualified. But what I will tell you is that I absolutely know I am. I know I am because after yesterday working with the patients that I had virtually as well as the patients that I had in person, like everybody I saw was in some sort of hypervigilance and overwhelm with everything going on in their lives, right? And this is happening to every single person on the planet to some degree. But with my work, there's this amazing thing that I get to witness with every single person I work with. And it's this evolution of their energetics. It's an evolution of their consciousness, and it shows up in their physical body. It shows up in the expression on their face. It shows up in their posture. And it was just so cool yesterday to be a source or a resource of groundedness, of understanding, of awakening. Because when we can start to realize that, you know, this is an opportunity, right? All of this is an opportunity. We can really embrace that on a subconscious level, on an energetic level, then life can change. Our perception can change. Our viewpoint can change. And then we feel better on the inside. Our body feels better. Our pain gets released. Our stress, our headaches go away. I mean, it was so amazing. I literally was crying at the end of the day because I was so overwhelmed with joy to see such transformation happen with people in such a short period of time. Like, this happens every day, but when people are in such distress and I can facilitate the upliftment of people that quickly. I'm like, absolutely, I am here to spread this message. I am here to help people wake up. I am here to help people understand the truth of who they are and the power they have within them to create the life they want to live. I am here to help people understand that they have the power to create. We're all a part of this. The fabric of our reality is shifting. And that paradigm that we've known to be our quote unquote reality is no longer true. So it can't help but shake you up. It can't help but create some sort of, uncertainty because we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's next. We've not ever lived through this before, right? But this is also an invitation. The invitation to see this as an opportunity. Yes, it's hard, and it can still be an opportunity for growth, for evolution, for transformation. This is, I honestly, I feel really excited about this time. And I know that sounds crazy, and some of you are probably gasping right now, but I feel so excited about it because when have we ever had the opportunity to decide what's important for us and figure that out, like what really is important for us? And I've come to some new decisions for myself as well with my grandmother's passing, and I'll share that with you in a few minutes. But what is important for you? It may be different today than it was yesterday. And now that we have this opportunity to get clear about what's important to us as individuals and what's important to us as a society and as humanity and as a mother, as a father, as a child, as a healthcare provider, we get to decide what we're going to stand up for. We get to decide what line we're going to toe and how we're going to bring truth and light to the people around us. I mean, it's vital that we do this. And this we're allowing this is an opportunity that's allowing us to put more attention on the things that matter to us rather than our to-do list. And it's something I believe we've needed for a very long time. Our earth has actually needed it. There is word, I haven't done the research on this, but there is word that the birds and the fish and the nature is coming back to life in those places that have been shut down for the last month. Imagine that, right? Maybe this is a moment for the earth to heal, right? Just like it's a moment for us to heal. Yeah, so look at what is important to you. Look at what your dreams are. Look at what your values are. Take this time to care for yourself and your family in a whole new way. Maybe start a new hobby or pick up an old one. Me personally, I was really excited to get home because I have recently started painting again. I paint yoga mats, very fun experience for me, but I haven't done it since I've been in Colorado or since we were traveling. So it's been years. And I got inspired now that my work, prior to all the COVID-19 stuff, I had space open up because I made some changes in my work, and now I'm only working for myself, which has been beautiful. And it's allowed me to tap into my creativity in a much bigger way. And it's been so fun. And I just have been excited for other people to be able to find a creative way, a creative expression, a creative outlet to let go of the stuff they may be holding on to around this, right? I'm really looking at picking my banjo back up right now too, because I'm like, wow, why not right now, right? Why not right now? I've been putting it off because I've been like, well, I don't want to start playing it again unless I'm going to commit to it, because I don't want to start and stop things in my life. And I've done this with my banjo a few times. So I'm like, okay, either I'm going to commit to it and play it or I'm not, right? And so I've been like, no, not yet, because I'm not sure I can commit. But why not? Why not right now? If it's fun for the moment, do it. Right? Go outside, take a hike, get out in nature. Of course, don't breathe in people's face and give people social distancing, and use your smarts, your wisdom about how to protect yourself, your family, and your community. Wash your hands, stay at home if you can, but go outside, get some sunshine. I mean, for us personally, we had a beautiful day. Roger and I went hiking yesterday, and there was still a little snow on the ground, but there's been a lot of sunshine, so it was awesome. And then today we wake up to a snowstorm. So I won't be going outside today because there's right now, as of this moment, 6 inches of snow on the ground, and there's probably another 6 to come. But you know what? You can get a cup of tea. You can sit by your fire. You can read a book. You can nap with your cat. You can write down, journal some things that, maybe this is an opportunity to get really clear about how you want to move forward in your life. This will pass. The virus will pass. The pandemic will pass. It's already passing in other countries. It will pass. And what's left is how we're going to show up as a result of this experience. And this is what we've got to get clear on. What are you going to do differently? How are you going to show up differently? How are you going to improve the health, your well-being, your family, your reality? We could sit in front of Netflix for the next 2 weeks because we don't have anything better to do and drink wine all day and call it good and call it a quote unquote staycation and enjoy those moments for what they are. But the question is, where is that really going to lead you? Are you going to feel better? Are you going to stay grounded? Are you going to stay uplifted? Are you sitting in front of the TV and watching the news all day? I just got back. Bless my mom and dad, my stepdad. They are lovely people, and they keep the news on all day long. And it's terrible because, basically, excuse me, even in the commercial breaks across the bottom of the screen, about at least 25 to 30% of the screen, it's red and white and yellow, big bold letters, coronavirus pandemic. Even in the commercials, they won't let it die. They won't let you get a breather. They're inducing fear. That is what the media is doing. They're inducing fear. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't be cautious, but we have to take control of our own mind and our own state of well-being by letting that stuff go. If you want to really let that stuff go, don't watch the news at all. If you need an update or something, go on your local, Google your local stats and your local network so that you can find out what the new things are that are coming out. Maybe there's a quarantine or something that you need to know about. But it doesn't take sitting in front of the Fox News or CNBC or whatever you watch for hours upon end, or at all for that matter, to figure this stuff out, right? It's pretty evident what we're supposed to be doing, and you can easily find that out on Google. And the other thing that I'm finding is very stressful for people is their social media connection. So I just had a friend of mine tell me she wasn't on social media for a while. In the past couple of days, she's been on social media. And guess what? She's getting stressed out. And there's a lot to that. I'm not going to go into that in this conversation, but I just want you to be aware that the choices that you're making right now are making a difference in your body and your mind and your spirit and your world, right? So you got to figure out how you're going to show up. All right. Get in touch with your values. What is it that you're actually valuing and want to value more? Right. So I valued building my business, and then I went to my grandmother's funeral, and that changed a little bit. Not that I don't value that still, but it's not a top value. It's not a top core value. My top core values are freedom, fun, and creativity. And of course, building my business allows all three of those. So I love it still. It's great. But the question is, if freedom, fun, and creativity are my top core values, how do I find freedom, fun, and creativity during a lockdown? It's easy for me. I've already kind of told you I'm excited. This is like, wow, I don't have to adhere to this to-do list that I've had. I get to have some freedom. I get to paint and be creative. That's fun. I'm actually going to be dancing a little bit more at home, which is fun because my dance studio is closed. But you've got the opportunity to do the things you dreamed of doing right now. And if you can get excited about that, if you can go, you know what? I can't control what's happening outside of me. We don't have any control over how it's all unfolding or what we can do beyond this very moment and what we can do in our own lives, right? And so find out what's going to make you happy and what your dreams are and get started on that, right? Yes. All right. So, a lot of, if you've never looked at your values or your core values, there's a lot of different things that could be core values. Like I said, mine's freedom, fun, and creativity. I've put a lot of thought into that over the years, but there's also sustainability and dependability, honesty, compassion, adventure, doing good for the whole, innovation, courage. What else? Integrity is one. There's so many. And actually, I'm thinking about putting together a little how to figure out your core values so you can pay attention to that and work that out for yourself. But maybe it's faith and authenticity. Service to other people, being of service mindedness. So and if you can figure out what your core value is, then you can begin living by that, right? So, a couple of questions you can ask yourself to help you discover what your core values are is, what is it that gives your life meaning? What is it you could not live without? And what brings you the most joy? And just be aware that core values are different than things you value. So I value my cat, but my cat is not a core value. I value her, but she may give me peace. And peace is a core value that I strive for. So, so just be aware of that. Your core values are different than the things you value. And sometimes we might be surprised, but what we figure out is truly important, okay? So, I just got back from Texas, and we put my grandmother down. She passed, and bless her soul, she was 90 years old. She had a long life and just so awesome. She was a very huge reason why I am the person I am today. And it was interesting because sitting there and looking at her and seeing her relaxed body, I saw so much relief in her body as she was in her casket there. And it made my heart sing to see that relief, because she hasn't had relief in a very long time. And it didn't really bother me that much to see her there. But then there was this picture of her and my papa when they were younger. And I looked at that picture, and that's what really tore me. I was just like, man, that's the woman I miss right there. I miss her so much. And then everyone around me, all these people showed up. I was actually pleasantly surprised at how many people were there, but all these people showed up. And my grandmother, she had 5 kids and a big family, and often other people lived with her, including myself and my brother. And so there might be 10 people in the household, because I've got my 3 uncles, and they've got their girlfriends and or friends that are spending the night or whatever. We got a big pool outside. Everybody's playing. Granny's taking care of the house, cooking the food, cleaning, taking care of the kids, taking care of me. Like, she had it down. Working out. She went to the gym 2 to 3 hours a day. I'd go with her when I was a kid. It was awesome. And she had it down. And what I heard most from the people that were there, like the overarching story and theme of the comments was, wow, she was such a loving woman and so accepting. She just brought me right into the fold as if I was one of the family and never looked back. And people really appreciate her acceptance, her lovingness, her non-judgment, her way of showing up for other people in the world. And when I kept hearing this over and over and over again, I was just like, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Like, when I die, I absolutely hope people say that about me. Like, that is what I'm living up to. Like, she is the pinnacle of who I want to be in the world. And when I heard that, and this was just before all this COVID-19 stuff started coming down the pipe, but when I heard that, I was just like, wow, there's so much more to life than I've been really tapping into. And I've been focusing in on building my business, especially now that I'm working for myself. Like, that's my focus, right? And I kind of can lose touch with my family. I can lose touch with the reality of, not just wanting to be successful, but being loving and accepting and open and flexible and creative and all those things that I love so much about her. So, it can be surprising by what you figure out is what you actually value. And it's an exercise you might want to work on for a while. All right. I do want to let you know that in this moment of craziness, of uncertainty, I really want to offer, I guess this might be an expression of my grandmother right now, actually, but I really want to offer people a foundation to tap into so that they can feel supported in the midst of all this craze, okay? So starting on September 21st, this will be March 21st at noon Mountain Time, so that'll be 11 Pacific, I'm sorry. Am I nuts or what? Okay. Noon Mountain Time is, 11 Pacific, 1 Central, and 2 Eastern. But I'm going to do this every day. So if you are interested, I'm going to do a little 30-minute group dialogue and healing session. It's free. You're welcome to jump in. I'll have a link in the show notes here. It's called Defining Your Destiny. It's going to be really awesome. It's just a time for us to connect in and be in community and during this time of quarantine. We're not supposed to connect in with people right now. We're supposed to be keeping ourselves quarantined and away from people. But, my fear is that there are people who have depressive tendencies or anxiety, and we all need community. And I want to make sure that I'm there to support you in that. So this is a free webinar. We're going to be our Zoom meeting. 30 minutes every day starting Saturday, March 21st at noon. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Also, I do want to remind you that tonight is the Empowered Feminine Embodied Soul workshop. So that's a 2-hour workshop tonight that you could tap into really easily. It starts at 6 Mountain Time. I'm not going to go through all the other times. And then a little later next week on Wednesday, the 25th, I will also be offering a free webinar on the coronavirus prevention blueprint. So I'll keep you updated on all that stuff. I hope to see you tonight at the Embodied Feminine Empowered Soul 2-hour workshop. That's going to be a very expansive workshop. It is only 2 hours. It's going to be awesome, expansive, grounding, and enlightening, right? And it's just exactly what we need during this time of uncertainty. So, joining into that is just being a part of the, helping us solve the problem of fear in our society. So I hope to see you there. Otherwise, maybe I'll see you on Saturday the 21st. All right. Love you, folks.
Thank you for listening to the Ultimate Biohack for Women. If you'd like to dive deeper with our tribe, join us on Facebook or Instagram. And if you'd like to help grow our tribe, share this episode with your friends. Let's bring this light to our community so that other women can know their true power and we can create a tribe together worth being in.
This podcast is for information purposes only. Dr. Brandy Victory is not a medical doctor, and the views and statements expressed on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Dr. Brandy Victory and the producers, disclaim responsibility from any possible adverse effects from the use of information contained herein. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. This podcast does not make any representations or warranties about guest qualifications or credibility. This podcast may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products or services. Individuals on this podcast may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.